Alright, so that blew up. Greetings, Redesigns here. This video is a little special, seeing as I reached 1,000 subscribers. I mean 2,000. 3,000. 4,000? Okay, stop. I've decided to make the good old Q&A special to celebrate these milestones. I wanted to make this video sooner, but the second my previous video blew up, I got a taste of a certain global pandemic, so I was stuck in my hometown for a while. But we're finally back. And I just want to say thank you for the amazing feedback on my last video. It's honestly surreal, so thank you. Now I asked you all on Twitter and Instagram, links to those are in the description, to send me some of your questions. So let's not waste any more time and jump in. Tubby_central on Instagram asks, if you got to direct the style for a Halo game, what would you do? How would you make it unique? Well, talking about the art style specifically, personally I'd definitely go for something in between Halo 3 and Reach. In my opinion, Halo has never looked better than in those two games. So as for the Spartans, I'd definitely keep the very tactical and militaristic look from Reach, with attachments and pouches scattered all over the armor. But at the same time, I'd keep the more fantastical and clean aesthetic of Halo 3. Because Halo to me has always been about, being the last hope to all the Marines around you. So making Spartans stand out in the battlefield is very important. Otherwise they're just gonna look like any other soldier. Which, worked for Halo Reach, being a game about a team of less powerful Spartans. Besides George, of course. Fighting a losing fight. Actually, now that I think about it, the more clean-looking Spartans we've seen from Infinite so far is pretty much spot on what I would do if I was the art director of the next Halo game. The Mark 7, more specifically, being the perfect blend of those two art styles. So huge props to 343, it looks amazing so far. As for the style in general, and the overall mood of the game, I'd honestly go with Halo 3 and Reach as my inspiration once again. Truly make the UNSC the underdog. I'd love to see the good guys take a massive hit in like the first 10 minutes of the campaign, maybe even kill off a rather important character, although that's a really fine line. But by doing this, the player would be left with a feeling of hopelessness. But what's that? Is that Chief floating in space? Being at the lowest point and seeing Chief, the literal embodiment of hope, the player would truly be invested in the story. Halo is really in need of something shocking. We need something worth fighting for, not just a different colored Covenant. Think the scene we first meet Atriox in Halo Wars 2, but even more brutal. So start off with Halo Reach's grit, and finish the game with Halo 3's sense of hope. Thank you so much for the question, and shout out to my man Tubby Central. Go check him out on Instagram. @xvaran on Twitter asks, what's your favorite level from your least favorite game? Interesting question, which I haven't thought much about, but at the top of my head, I'd say Tip of the Spear from Halo Reach. I know this is controversial, but gameplay-wise, Halo Reach is actually my least favorite Halo game. Stuff like the art style and story are great, but the gameplay just never clicked with me, the same way the other games did. But man, do I love Tip of the Spear. The intro cinematic is just breathtaking, and it's so action-packed. You crash the Warthog as you make your way over a broken bridge, fight off the Covies, blow some stuff up, fight more Covies, jump in a Falcon to blow some stuff up, crash the Falcon, blow some stuff up, you get it. And the depressing ending to it is just chef's kiss. @Moratora_02 on Twitter asks, favorite Halo Mega Construct set? The Death Star. Philip_2554 on Instagram asks, are thinking about doing more videos, redesigning more things from Halo? Why, yes I am. I've tried my best browsing through the thousands of comments on my last video, and I think I got a good understanding of what you guys want to see next. And I've got some ideas for more designs myself. I'm actually working on a redesigning Halo video as you're watching this, so expect it fairly soon. Until then, here's a little sneak peek of what's to come. Minority_Muncher, lovely name, on Instagram asks, where are you from? PewDiePie. At Fletch UH, whoever that is, on Twitter asks, if there's one thing you'd change about your favorite Halo, what would it be? At first I thought, well, it's Halo 3 and that game is perfect in every way. But the more I thought about it, the more I could hear a familiar voice in the back of my head. Something so incredibly cringe, I couldn't sleep for days. I'm of course talking about...
To war.
No, but in all seriousness, the game could definitely use some better dialogue. It's the same issue The Walking Dead had, and the reason I stopped watching that show. Characters tend to talk like every sentence they're saying is gonna end up as a 12-year-old kid's iPhone wallpaper. I of course mean no disrespect to fans of the show, it just didn't work for me. Halo 3 has a lot less of those moments, but they're there, and they're definitely hurting the experience for me. So if I were to change one thing about my favorite game, it would definitely be that. _YLBM on Instagram asks, face reveal when? Yes. Philip Rosberg on Instagram asks, why are you so goddamn handsome? Yes. At DeadGhost54 on Twitter writes, hey man, congrats. For my question, have you considered where the redesigning Halo series will go after weapons? Will it go into helmets, which is also what you're known for? Again, congrats. Thank you. Well, it's good you bring it up, because it's definitely something worth thinking about. I'm going to run out of weapons someday, so I have actually started thinking about maybe combining different helmets, maybe even from different games, to come up with some new interesting designs. I've even thought about doing a series called maybe Expanding the Arsenal or something like that, where I create brand new weapon designs for different factions of Halo. Let me know what you think about that idea. Thank you very much for the question. And let's move on. Chance44 Vaughn on Instagram asks, will you do a redesign of the railgun and Hydra? I already like them, but I'd like to see what you can... I got caught off. The D is due. I didn't have the room to say it all. Well, I am redesigning one of them at least, so hype. And the last question of the video comes from @MillenTeVillain on Twitter. Do you believe more recent Halo composers get unnecessary flack just for simply not being the OG pair of Marty O'Donnell and Mike Salvatore? O'Donnell and Salvatore created what quickly became a classic soundtrack in the gaming industry. Millions of people grew up with that music, and it was probably the first orchestral music I ever listened to. So to say that the soundtrack has had an impact on many people's lives is the understatement of the century. What I believe is the biggest reason why people aren't accepting of the new music is the fact that they're always going to compare it to the original. And you know, then there's the elephant in the room. It's just not the same sound. Halo 4 has some of my favorite pieces of Halo music, such as Atonement, Solace, and Aliens, which probably has the most creepy sound I've ever heard in a Halo soundtrack. Seriously, go listen to it. Even Halo 5's Blue Team is just so good. But it is different from Bungie's games. For example, Marty made heavy use of the Dorian mode, which we've barely heard any of in 343's soundtracks. So there are clear differences between them, no matter which you prefer. So yeah, I do believe new Halo composers get unnecessary flack, but I understand why. And that's it for this Q&A. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for just watching my videos, honestly. Like, I was prepared to make a 1,000 subscribers special with this video, but you know, I wasn't prepared to make a 5,000 or 6,000 now. I don't even know, honestly. It's, you know, it's just insane. So thank you guys so much, and I apologize for this very unscripted outro, but you know, I just want to talk like face to face to you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. And my next video should be a redesigning Halo video, and it should be out pretty soon. So I wish you all the best, and take care. Vernissage out.